Bueno, buenas tardes, hackers.
Okay, good afternoon, hackers. Thank you very much for putting up, without being too drunk. I know that some of you couldn't hold the temptation last night. Hello, Pedro. But as I say, thank you for being here and for resisting until the end. So I stole the title from Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden are just God. You know that. Before I give my presentation, I'd like to do two things. First of all, thank you to all of you who sign up to this Rooted, and then to people from Rooted, Jack, Alejandro. So all people taking part in the Rooted Labs, all the money that we get from there goes to the organization, so that this conference is made possible. So thank you very much to all of you one more year for volunteering to be there, and also to all of you who came here. Thank you very much. Okay, I would like to talk about this photograph. It has caused debate. Some people got really concerned because I was not wearing a suit and a tie, because I didn't take off my hat. Who didn't like me not taking off my hat? So the day after I gave that talk. Well, this photograph was published in a magazine, and then a pseudo-journalist, whose name is Federico Jiménez Los Santos, got hold of this photograph. Okay. And then he took this photograph, the cover page of the photograph, and he said that it was a cyber crime, and I took part in the 15M demonstrations here in Madrid. So next year, I will have a T-shirt. I will be wearing a T-shirt with that print. And people say, why didn't you take off your hat? You were talking to the King of Spain. This is not, you should not wear a hat, and you didn't do any bow or anything. Well, actually, there is only one social instance in society that are not obliged to take off the hat when they talk to the king. And because I have a PhD, well, that's why I didn't take off my hat, but now I can do it. I can do it for you. And then some people are concerned about stereotypes. He's wearing his hat, that's the hacker stereotype. You don't wear hats. I don't know very many hackers wearing hats. Anyway, well, nonsense apart, okay, let us move on to our presentation. So my talk today is not a talk by Chema Alonso. It's a talk which is the result of 11 paths and Telefonica, 11 people working on this talk. I will try to share with you how much I enjoy working with my team, with the people I work with, and hopefully the technological part of it will also be helpful to you. Well, starting off with the problems. The objective was to research a problem, which is cybercrime and malware in Android devices. Although people say no, in Android there is no malware, you know that within mobile OS, Android, it is the most used OS to make business out of that. When you take a look at the news, you see that there are always new applications coming out, and the problem is that this is crazy. And then the title of my presentation is, Can I Play with Madness? The problem is that the number of applications for mobile devices is just huge. So the good thing about these applications is that when they are really malicious, it's not when they are uploaded to a Chinese market, when anyone can load an application and there aren't very many controls, but they become really malicious when they enter the main market, that is to say Google Play. And when you take a look at what happens in there, well, this is what happens. So who can tell me what's the original WhatsApp? Okay, the one below on the right. Anyway, all those apps have been loaded to Google Play They are all in Google Play. Controls that are being in place in Google Play have not been as heavy as in the other markets. And, well, this is what happens as a result of it. When you want to see or analyze all those applications from the viewpoint of a security analyst, the analysis becomes very complicated because there is no API where you can go and say to Google, oh, give me all the new applications and I will analyze them for you. Most of the time an app is loaded to Google Play, does whatever it has to do, and then disappears from Google Play without having any antivirus company or any security company not even having seen it. So I'm not saying analyzing it, it was even not seen, okay? Disappears before it is seen. So when it comes to attacking malware in applications, there are very many trends for that. Many trends to fight cybercrime. We have the human intelligence, people who are very smart, thinking all the time about how to find rings and gangs. We could also have cover people trying to go to their home and, well, to infiltrate that, then also private intelligence systems or work with many people. So if you do a search on int nowadays, you will find many different types of intelligence. There is one intelligence that those who did pen testing used it a lot. So that's the OSINT, open source intelligence. I like it because it says the definition. I like the definition because they say the art and the science of creating technical evidences that help your decision making. How many of you have used Shodan to do a penetration? So Shodan only gives you public information, but it's good for you when you have to make a decision. The good thing about having an OSINT environment is that you get as much information as possible, you have as much information as possible to do your research and also to have the best possible tools to analyze that and to extract, to take out or gather intelligence. That is to say, enough big data and tools that will help you detect and analyze and research those data. And this is what we will do to fight cybercrime or malware within the Android markets. For that, logically, we will be needing to build an OSINT source, because Google Play, as it is today, and as considering its design and the policies that it follows, it is not an OSINT source, but an internet service. So we will try to create that internet service into an OSINT source that we can use. OSINT techniques are helpful, but they are neither more or less important than the rest of the techniques. Actually, at the end of my presentation, I'll try to tell you how, once we have our OSINT database, we can cross it with internal databases, with feeds that you may have bought from other intelligence company, with data that are exclusive to your company, at the end of the day, to gather the best possible intelligence and to make the best decision. So building an OSINT source or database is not easy or cheap. If you try to download Google Play, who tried to download Google Play? So you know that this is not trivial, this is not easy. Well, Jesus, you did that, isn't it? Well, that was the objective, creating an OSINT platform with as many Android markets in it as possible. Also, a source that will help us process all data from an Android application, and when we say that, we refer to all data related to the application and the environment, that is to say, to build the big data, and then also to give to the analysts the tool that will help them to process it in the real time, to create correlations and to gather intelligence out of it. When in the Malaga lab we were working on the first versions to do something like that, then this was published. It is a paper by Playdrone. You can read it. It is on the internet, and basically they are doing something, they did something to what we are doing right now. I'm not going to tell you exactly how we do what is our technique about, but read theirs, okay? So that you can see that, yes, you can actually download the market. What do we do with our tool? Well, the tool referred the internal name of part 5. So at the end of the day, we will call it facet, I think. And now, in real time, it will download applications from all the possible markets. It processes the applications through a number of filters so that we can classify information in real time. Also, you can do an interactive consultation and to look through all the indicators and characteristics of the application. And that analysis, you can do that with applications in the market, those who are no longer in the market because they have been eliminated. Because one of the characteristics that we have is that we file absolutely all the applications and as well as other applications in other markets. So you can consult all the applications in other markets and also different times. So, and well, the best way to understand that is by seeing it. Okay.
Bueno, para que veáis aquí un poquito esto es PAD 5. Esto no es PAD 5. Esto no es PAD 5. Voy a duplicar la pantalla. Esos son los Iron Maiden. Los más grandes de todos los.
These are Iron Maiden. They are just great.
A ver. Ahí estamos. A ver si ahora va todo bien. Good. Bueno, esto es PAD 5, ¿vale?
Okay.
Una consolita donde tú puedes hacer.
This is a console where you can do your search.
¿Vale? Bueno, aquí lo único que tengo es un menú de buscar donde yo puedo.
So we have a search menu.
La gracia es que pues, tienes para buscar por cualquier.
And the good thing is that you can just use any parameter of the application that you want. We download the application, we break it down, and we index it. For instance, if you want to see how many applications from Google Play you have downloaded, you have 2,222,000. Well, look at this number. You know, some minutes ago we didn't have that very number. Oh, it's amazing! Look at the number. It's random. This is not fixed. Okay. So real time, that's the number of applications. And then, for instance, if you want to find out how many apps were loaded yesterday.
En el mes de marzo al día 6, ¿no? ¿Cuántas aplicaciones nuevas pues fuimos capaces de tener? 951, ¿no? Esto quiere decir
951 new applications that a security analyst or a security company should be worried about. And for instance, we also want to look for those who died in 1st of March 2015. So 2,721 applications disappeared on the 1st of March. They are no longer available for analysis. What happens with that number? Any odd thing? Take a look at the second one. Oh, next week I will be going to Argentina. Look at that. Game up Argentina.
Siempre lo he sabido, Chema.
Yo creo que de los Santos me está troleando ahí desde el backend.
So someone is kind of trolling me.
Bueno, cada una de estas aplicaciones.
So each of these applications
pues las analizamos, ¿vale?
we are analyzed by us.
Vamos
Okay.
a coger esta, por ejemplo.
So for instance, this one.
No os preocupéis porque como os he dicho, yo me
Don't you worry because as I told you, I go to Argentina, but I can still I can download this app even if it's been deleted because we have filed all the applications. So if we want to do a research, we have the historical data of all the applications that disappeared, so ratings, description, permissions, GMT, zone adjustment, permissions, links, all the links in the application, streams, certificate values, public key, dates, important dates for the files, details from the developer, manifest, images, and files containing the application. And all that is ready for you to do a search on whatever you want to search. So, for instance, if you go and say, I want to search all the ones with antivirus name in the title. Okay, antivirus, Google Play, 2,777 antivirus. I may sort them by date, latest publications. Okay, now those that have been classified as malware. So, tools that show up as antivirus, but they have been classified as antivirus. So, we'll have big business there for this rogue AV. All right. So now that date, 300 tools that, well, are no longer there. They have this black label on them. So I can create filters as well as apps are being loaded. I get real-time feed. So WhatsApp is one of the most widely used sounds, notifications. This is an application that was appeared in December, but then it was eliminated. The developer is free, gratis. Then you click on it and you see all the applications that they have. For instance, one is a video for monologues. It has been eliminated for whatever reason, because they were doing something not right. So when these applications are eliminated, this gives us a clue, this gives us hints. So this one has been eliminated, so we could analyze it and we could see whether the developer tried to hide his identity by including another tool, malware. So the tool is camouflaged and then a new developer account appears, but it is the same developer. So if we take this one, here we can see all the permissions. If we analyze the data of the files, one of the tricks is that most of the files are used whenever an application is repacked. So if we take the latest or the oldest date, by doing that, I create a filter. I click, I create a filter for me to see all the applications in Google Play that have oldest date file. And now we have another application. The name is notification sounds. It is not exactly the same one, but well, let us check if it is the same one or not. Developer, this time is different. This is ringtone sound. This is free, gratis. And now, if we search it, we can see that it is still active in Google Play. So this is the application. As I say, it is active. And here we can see the ratings. So we see a huge enthusiast here. Marco Gomez saying this is wonderful, great. So whenever you do a campaign, spam application, marketing campaign, you hire people such as him. And now you want to see other ratings given by Marco Gomez, and then you also find another one in videos, the monologues video. So free, gratis, exactly the same developer that we found in the first application. So very easily we can move from the application inside and outside. From our big data, we can move inside and outside to gather information. Once you are specialists in that, now I'd like to tell you about some cases that we developed with this technology. One of them is botnet. We gave it the name Schwaban botnet. It was in Google Play. It was very peculiar. It was known as the botnet of the Chinese bastard, because this bastard Chinese guy was doing something that no one did before. He was using mobile platform as a platform for him to create his identity and to get the Google tokens that would allow him to do whatever action in Google Play. That means that if you were infected with one of these applications that this man had developed, then your mobile phone continued to have your Google username, so it was not dirty, so well your ID didn't, user didn't uploaded any comments or whatever, but through that app it used to register to sign up users in the system. He authenticated the device with these fake users in the system, and once a Google user was authenticated in the infected device and obtained the token of security, he gave it back to the control panel of the botnet. So the botnet had a database of devices associated with users and with security tokens. So from that moment, from the centralized panel, he could access any mobile phone, gave that mobile phone the token of security that he had, and asked the mobile phone to do a task for him. So he kept the database of users, names and passwords that he had created, and the only thing that he did was to give tasks to the mobile phone, such as comment with the user that it is not his, that it is mine, or download this application, or give him like 5-star rating. So all that was in a control panel, and that control panel could only be accessed through an IP address, which curiously enough belonged to an advertising company in China. Then, after doing that analysis and finding those abnormalities, then you can make it to the end and then find out about identities. Identities, sometimes they are cyber companies or people or whatever. And then in this case, the developer of the botnet had developed up until 163 apps, I think, and everything started from an application that had been eliminated, that had been developed by a developer known as Yu Hunhui. Easy to remember saying it. So the developer's app had been eliminated. It was classified as malicious, and that was the starting point. The trick to locate many of these up until a pattern was created, a pattern with the developer accounts that he used, etc. It was as easy as that. X-body scam, created by Yu Hunhui, the same man, very well-known man. And then within the files, the man was using as much as possible. So if we take this image and we do a search from the image, then this time we get another application, Shiquin Ray, and the name is X-body scam. So if we look at the application of this developer, then we find another one. The other one is touch electric screen. Okay, let us open it, let us analyze it. Again, all data, and then we look at all the images and we say, oh, this image was being reused somewhere else, and now we have it in here, an electric screen touch, and then with another user, okay, and continue to play and play. Well, this is, you find the applications very quickly, then you start to do all these connections, and then you move on to the manual part, okay? You really want to do sandboxing or reversing. So this is a simple way to locate those applications that belong to the same family of malware or are within the same operation, etc. At the end of the day, we want to give, to provide a different solution to the world of research. Antivirus do their work, but they are not good at discovering. They are good at detecting applications once the application has been detected and then the pattern has been made for that. But they do not find anything new. They do not find any malicious thing. So here we can see how we can correlate correlate events and data. So now, reputation system based on users and opinions and votes. The problem that we have is that sometimes they may be just fake, sometimes users don't know how to interpret the results that they can see. And now, if we move on to, well, what it says, antivirus, they do not work. Well, I didn't write it down myself, but this is like a popular or this is a widespread thought. Okay, if we go to automatic reports, doing full scorings, quick scorings, sometimes this scoring can be easily jumped by the evil ones, okay, and sometimes they throw many false positives. And the same goes for sandboxing systems, because, well, at the end of the day, they do good analysis of the applications, but sometimes they are slow. Sometimes malware detectors also detect when the application is going through a sandbox, then they change the behavior of the app, and therefore it's difficult to analyze. And as Sergio says, they are slow. So automatic reports, well, the problem is things like that. Zero risk, but then WhatsApp says that the risk is 3 out of 10. Therefore, well, this is a bit inconsistent. So what we do with Path 5 is trying to discover how the attackers work and what has been the attacking structure that they have followed. And to detect that, we use abnormalities like weird things that we can use as a starting point, and we also base that in singularities, that is to say, starting from all the characteristics of the applications that have been loaded to the markets, we want them to be identified as a group, because they use the same files, because the same permissions, because they have the same size, or have been loaded at the same time, use the same images, dates of similar files, because they have the same digital fingerprint. So we try to find singularities of all the families of malicious applications that are used for an attack or for an attack. So, and we do that by correlating all the databases available to us. And we try not to read the code, because doing reverse engineering, it's okay, but sometimes we don't always have the resources. There are yesterday 900 applications were uploaded, same today, and you will never have enough bandwidth to analyze them all. So the objective is to analyze our enemies, to know them, just to have a profile, to get a profile of the attacker. And what are we going to do that? Well, we are going to use everything available. At the end of the day, the application is a compressed file that has been signed with a digital certificate that can be self-generated, that has many files in it. The files have emissions, have dates. Sometimes some data are lost, they have metadata, and then because, well, they have been published in given environment in the user, because they are commented by specific users, because they have electronic email or email in the given server, etc., etc. At the end of the day, there are many checkpoints that can be analyzed so that we can profile each of them, and if we profile each of them, can help us detect it.
I'm going to tell you 2 more cases regarding doing the profiling of one of the attackers by using for this purpose. But firstly, when talking about the mutant applications. Mutant applications, you download the application, you install it, and you have the automatic update. If somebody update this application and turn it malicious, and you have turned on the malicious updates, this behavior will be replicated onto your applications. These are like gremlins. When you feed the gremlins at night, they become malicious and malign, and they attack you. Some of these applications are going to be discovered as malicious because they are mutants. For this purpose, a case of a scam from Turkey, apparently from Turkey, with a clicker. This clicker generated a layout and uploaded advertising to plugin in a brutal way. In this very case, the anomaly which allows us to detect one of the first applications, was that Sergio came up with the idea, okay, they are doing a lot of meddling with the applications and with the remote control of the TVs. The remote control of the TVs on your Android. Not all TVs can support the remote control. So some of them noticed that it was like a bait, like a decoy to infect it. So Sergio detected one of this. Let's see if it appears over here. I write it down over here, not to get lost. Developer name. TV remote control. This is it. This one over here has the fun thing that is lying down. It's going to control by infrared your computer, but it has not Android's permission to access the infrared rays. So Sergio left it very ready. If you don't have this permission infrared, you automatically put it on an RSS, and I'll take it manually. These applications in reality was a clicker. It checked the files. For this purpose, it used a layout out of the vision where advertising was loaded, and on the behind, this used a scheme connected to a server with the URLs to be visited, and it was click on them and loading. Of course, those who have a flat rate fee is a fucking thing. For this purpose, the funny thing is that this developer was tagged on the certain, I don't know, the tag was DAC Portrait. By checking the files, it was enough to select the layout. Where is the layout where we're doing clicking, where the scam, the fraud is taking place, and we got 32 applications making up the whole fraud. Quan Consumer, Water Online, and so on and so on. If we classify by date of publication on the market, we'll see that Tinton, there are 5 things for us to be considered. This one is the modern one, and these are the oldest one. The latest, if you're going back in time, made with more time, have longer descriptions, but in the rest of them, he was nervous and he wrote in only one single line. Can you notice? If you check the applications, let's see a Ventil application. This application had been mutated very quickly modified on the market. The package name and so on. We take this package name and we go to Google. We go on Google. We do a site play Google with this package name, and we check the cache. We'll see that the application has anything to do with Venten. This application mutated. This guy uploaded this way. He's continue uploading other malicious things. He knows that sooner or later they're gonna be hunted and caught. So he has uploads to maximize their impact. They mutate and put it very quickly. 32 applications we caught. Let's shut down this over here. I'm getting lost in the middle of nowhere. I got 32 applications, even though we don't know if they are all of them, because there may be some of them didn't use layouts. There was an application with a layout with a very strange character which didn't appear over here. If we check any of these applications, perhaps flight simulator, if we create a request by checking the permissions, and we check this on Google Play, and we check that their size is more or less equal to the same of others. With the very same size, you won't ever find with the applications with the very same size because it's loaded with images, so the change is a must. So minus 30 case, 30 applications ordered by data publication. There exists other application making part of this fraud. Of course, it will be in the temporary line closer to the middle ones. Doctor driving with which appears on the other lines, Dr. Driving, but this one didn't appear over there. So this application has the very same characteristics, one single line in their description and very striking characters. Let's check their characteristics. Let's check its files. We see this very same layout, but nonetheless, for any reason, this layout does have a very strange character and does not appear with the rest of 32 applications. This application has a strange character. By ordering their characteristics and creating a timeline, we can conclude and wrap up our investigation. In the very end, the very same idea to find an anomaly, an anomalous thing, and then to create a singularity to create the profiling of their developer. We can do so in many different ways. We can do it with developers who uploaded applications on BAT on a special geographical location on the same time frame and looking for data. In this very example, I will exemplify with compact feed. An advisory, a security advisory appeared by the name of @geyser, which allows people with week allows people to create applications. With this, the advisory came out and said to us, this application generated but the name of @geyser does not validate the digital certificates in the correct way. So all applications made with @geyser is susceptible of being attacked with man in the middle, because no alerts will appear in this passing of information due to false certification. This is that easy for us as to go to @geyser. I wrote it down wrong. I'm sorry for my spelling. I misspelled it. We check the developer appearing on the digital certificate. This is not good for me. @geyser. I don't know if I put the name correctly. Let's check the certificate. This is not the one we're looking for. @geyser or geyser is not the one I'm looking for. I misspelled it. I miswrote it. Sorry for this inconvenience. There is a blog on the site of theevils.com. @geyser. @geyser. It has an S in between. @geyser. @geyser. Geyser or geyser. @geyser. @geyser. Should I write it on the title? Is what you mean? Let's check it on here. Is the issuer organization of this topic file? Now let's type in issuer this desktop file. This topic file, according to the speaker. Interpreters, we cannot read on screen what he's writing at this very moment. Let's check the title. @geyser. I cannot get any input on screen. Oh, I got it here. Oh, here we go. This is the one I'm looking for. Here we go. Here we go. This is one of the certificate. The fun thing about this is we select the public the password, and it will give us all the applications signed with the very same digital certificate and which are vulnerable for the man-in-the-middle technique, simply because we have indexed all the application database through the digital passwords and keywords. So there are 16,000 applications, almost 17 applications which are insecure for attack with man-in-the-middle. One of the funny things is how many of them are web browsers. Okay, and there were so many browsers, internet navigators created as a view web by creating this simple tool. The other one is an application that that fell down because it was a very suggestive title, Porno Sex Video HD, which is what everybody is looking for. My gosh, this application went into a filter, and apart from putting all this application asked you for the permissions of calling you by phone. If you have an application for watching porno videos with a phone number calling application. So now we go to the files and let's check zone dialer, which is not very hidden from our eyes. So we can see all the applications. Not all of them are malicious, but most of them talk about porno films. Cinema is a company from Real with warning about the conditions. You download cooking recipes, but you are really calling a porno telephone, and you are paying 50,000 euros per month. So this allows us to find anomalies, singularities, and work with all the Android application markets if you were on an Android station at home. The funny thing is that we have an API made on Telefonica with a system that we really liked it. They came last year to tell us about, which is Symphonier. Symphonier is a tool which allows you to manage source database, especially externally and internally, based upon a Storm architecture. As you can see on the screen, Storm is by Apache, which allows the distributed processing in such a way that in an autonomous environment separated from path5 we can process all this information. Storm is not a trivial thing, it's just the opposite. It's very techy. You need to have certain abilities and knowledge, and on Telefonica, Symphonier people are working on a very simple theme, and through visual programming you can get all the flows of information management, whatever the source is, by using these components. You can see on screen Spout, which is an entry data source, which is path5. It can also be Google or other MongoDB database in your organization, can be Excellent or other source of information. On the other side, the bolts, which are processing elements distributed purely and solely, which takes data from other bol or other spout, and they are processed properly to generate exit data, process, and entry data. This exit data can be given to other bol to be filtered, refined, or can lead them to the drain, which are going to keep them on a database or show it on a control panel. This way we generated information on path5, which is integrated with Symphonier. Symphonier integrated with other kind of information source all over the world, and he can do a back and forth going to path5, looking for information, generating new evidence in a continuous way. To sum up, this is Symphonier, an interface thought in a very simple way, drag and drop interface to create a topology, which is a flow of treatment of information with these elements which work on a cluster, and you can use the community release version from the web. This is the interface you can use. I will show you with a pair of topologies. In this pair of topologies, I tried to look for new pieces of information. In the very end, we are generating a huge load of suspicious applications with path5 through RSAs, and we try to extract information and knowledge from these applications. From this very purpose, the very first topology we're going to use is to create a pattern or a template in the path of the links in such a way that allows us to have the suspicious applications, in order for us to see if the path which is behind or after the domain has anything to do or any recognizable pattern to go up to the risk scoring. As you may see on part 5, we have the possibility of looking through links of any kind of things. We can check who uploaded a password on this kind of XT files by searching through XT files. This guy uploaded a link. Let's look for password. There is a link Dragos Gmail password. So this guy left his Gmail password, which is very easy. Or we can look for links containing, in such a way, links with the login in plain text. As you can see, there are 41,000 applications with the login applications updated and up to date as of today in plain text. Let's open up the links. We can see the logins connected to logins without ciphering. So from all these links, we want to take out the suspects and generate a pattern to generate identities evidence with Symfonier. I will connect to Symfonier. Please open an account, a free account on the community version. This is one of the topologies we can find. I don't know if you can see it here or is it blurred vision. Is it small? Is it tiny? Let's go back because this has to do with the domains. On the right, we got the complete map, and here are the attributes for any of these objects. Here is commented. One of the funny things about topologies is you can reuse it to change the parameters. If you have the topology looking for something and you want something similar, you have to modify the parameters, and you can reuse this whole job. So all the spouts, bolts, and drains you have generated, you are going to be able to reduce them in the future because they are created with the interface for them to be interconnected at all moment. So here we connect to part 5. From part 5, we're gonna receive all the applications from the RSA which are suspicious. From then on, we are going to know if we had previously analyzed it with this conditional element. We take out the link, and if it's analyzed, we won't waste our time. Otherwise, we put the application in the database for us to have the list of all the applications we had been processed. After this moment, the RSA of suspicions applications gives us the URL where it is kept on part 5. We connect one by one to collect all the information from these applications. We take it out from the applications, and what do? We take one by one all this application. We take out all the properties, and we're gonna see the links and the cyber identities. Who are the developers of these applications? From then on this branch on the left, we take out the accounts of the developers for those suspicious applications to keep a list of cyber identities which may be suspicious for us, and then we'll use it for check if some emails were used to register domains, or it appears with some historical account on a network. Anything valid and useful to investigate. And regarding the links, we are going to take the links out of front applications, and we ask part 5, how many applications does this link have? So further down, we wrote a pattern of what is going to be singular or peculiar, a link appearing on more than 2 applications and in less than 100 applications could correspond to a specific operation. I'm running out of time, so in the very end you can have a panel like this. I have just deleted.
Que tenemos aquí, donde en tiempo real nos va diciendo cuáles son.
Here in real time, we know the suspicious applications, and with manual analysis we have crossed out as suspicious applications which appear in a recurrent ways. And we can analyze a number of cyber identities we get, and once we get these paths with a new typology I once saw you, And I will show you later, if you're going to Symfony, we're going to know where the associated domains to these paths are located and where the registers are located as well. These are maps for all of you. This way we generate more information that can help us in any scoring process to take the right decision regarding a new investigated application, maybe suspicious or is worth devoting our time to do a reversing or engineering processing to check out everything. I don't want to extend further along. This is said to wrap up cybercrime. Cybercrime in the apps is really huge. It's brutally, exponentially huge. Research in Google Play is not that easy at all. It's not trivial, by the way. If you have ever had the opportunity to check what is going on Google Play, you'll know this is not trivial. With Path 5, this allows us to discover, investigate anomalies. I was focused on Google Play, but we have plenty of integrated markets working on the same rhythm and pattern. Some Google Play disappear, but their applications are published on the rest of the markets. We can cross-time data, and we can analyze an application that was destroyed 6 months ago. Regarding Symfony helps us to integrate all the knowledge we can get from Path5 with any other possible source of data, whether it's private, their knowledge researchers, your own company's data, or bought data, and or whatever, and it allows you to generate new intel identities you can use in any kind of investigation. It's difficult, it's complicated, but yes, you can play with madness, and it is fun. By the way, thank you all guys for being here, for sharing your time with me. Should you have any questions, please raise your hands. I'm available for you guys. Thank you.
¿Se oye? Ante todo, felicidades por la charla.
Congratulations, wonderful tool, by the way, because help us a lot regarding looking for applications and conducting analysis. I got a question regarding how you can feed this tool with paid applications, because in this very tool, all the tools I showed are for free and you can download it. You cannot store them, and for these uses it requires to pay for them. For the rest of the markets, I don't think any one of them include this kind of free applications. To put this in this blunt way, it's true that almost all the malware is for free. So by seeing this tool, people may think to price them as 10 centimes to avoid to be analyzed. Very good question. We only download the free applications, but we keep data from all the environment, from all the applications, even paid applications. Why? Because it's compliance. There are many ways of by skipping this, by doing giving back downloads, but we don't do this kind of things because it's not fair. As you said, malware is basically free. People don't like to put obstacles. Would people be willing to pay 10 cents? For example, WhatsApp, 0.87 cents. They were afraid of putting paid data. As of today, is not very significant. Malware is for free. Applications and the lifetime on an operation is very short. They're gonna edit it when they are doing malicious things, so they have to maximize their impact as much as possible. I don't know if I answer all the questions. Yes, you did. Thank you very much. Chema, congratulations. Wonderful presentations. Question: have you ever tested playing about? Do you play with clustering tools to take out patterns? Yes, we had played around with this. We got Antonio and Alfonso who racked their brains. Last October we presented at CHOF. Sergio presented on Big Tech. We presented the conclusions regarding the type of permissions for malicious applications with some histograms, and we worked very, very hardly for this purpose, for as well as fundamental. Many new applications appear every single day, and the automatic reprocessing is a must. Internally speaking, we're working with this very, very severely, and the only thing we had published is what is available for the DeepSec conference given in Wien, Austria, last November. No more questions, Chema. Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation.